Good day, everyone. This is Miles Hischier here with the Hire with Miles podcast. It's a podcast where I interview leaders and founders of groundbreaking companies in 2025, and I learn what they're up to, what they have top of mind in 2025, and what they have planned for their business. I have a very exciting guest here today. Moran is the Chief Operating Officer and I'm going to have you pronounce your first and last name as well as the company name just so the audience gets it all
Sure thing,
correctly.
no problem. So my name is Moran Mizrahi. I'm the COO and co-founder of Rebillia Platform. We are a subscription management platform handling recurring revenue and subscription transaction, and basically doing A to Z operation of billing. And thank you for having me today. This is a great opportunity to talk about subjects that I'm very passionate about. So
Yes, I very much look forward to it. And with my IT company, Highview Solutions, we were a Google Cloud reseller. So I'm very intimately familiar with the challenges of billing and billing automations and billing systems. So I look forward to digging into your product in a bit more. But before, yeah, go ahead.
no, I just said call me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
You
you
can
guys
help
have
me
an
to resolve some
appropriate
of the issues.
an
Uh,
appropriate product. Um,
Definitely. So you want me to go ahead and tell you a little bit about what we do, or you want to ask?
let's actually first tell me about your story leading up to your current company. Like, tell me about your journey just quickly in your career.
Sure thing. So both me and the co-founder coming from the arena of back in the days from retail, then online business, basically e-commerce for the most part, and other businesses that run in online, and that's where we both learn about the need for subscription. I mean, cost of acquisition is costly. And once you enroll a customer and once you already educate him about your product, then he's leaving. Actually, it's got to the point that nowadays you don't even making money on the first sale. So us and the whole world moving to recurring revenue and striving to be and sell on subscription, create an ARR, and basically create stability. That is something that is really big nowadays in this type of economy. And we roll into it from our own need. We learned firsthand by having our own online business that in retail, it used to be more common for a person or a client to go ahead and buy from you again, come over again. But it's not just like that online, right?
Right.
The loyalty is being a bit spread out, and the world of subscription came into kind of maneuver that situation. So this is how we rolled into it. We started this in the arena of subscription, I would say 10 years ago. So really early. This is our third product in the arena of subscription and checkout in general. And basically, we are subscription fanatics. We kind of learned a lot about the need of the merchant that we're serving first end, but we also through it learned a lot about the need of the client. And the whole approach that we have a company nowadays is that we understand what the merchant need to satisfy his client, and that's exactly the service that we providing. So this is kind of how we got into this new solution. We have a subscription management platform that allow clients to be very adjustable with their subscription and allow them a full flexibility to change and to build on different products, and for the merchant to give his full offerings and make it very flexible and adjustable, create partnership as well for products that it doesn't necessarily sell,
Yeah.
and to bring this all together so both the merchant and the client are actually satisfied with their subscription plan and that they can adjust them based on their needs. So this is our highlight, and this is our latest and greatest product, and we're pretty proud of what we have in as of right now, solving a lot of billing issues in this world. So
Yeah. And what's your perspective on the rise of usage-based billing in recent years versus like traditional, like monthly, like fixed, like $20 a month, $100 a month. Yeah. And what's your perspective of the rise of usage-based billing? And I think of the context of all these AI platforms that are coming out, and I imagine more services out there might be offered on a usage like metered based billing structure. And I would love to hear your perspective on that.
So I overall think that usage base is just another way to rethink this. But as I said, the whole world right now going to this transitioning of less looking of what is it that I need as a business, and what will, and more going more towards about being customer centric, having a customer centric approach. Think of the client and kind of bring the client to the table from a different approach, from an approach of what is it that the clients want, what does he need, and how do I make sure he stays. And basically, in other words, lock the client from bringing him to the max satisfaction. So definitely, there's different approaches, right? Fixed price, usage base, which definitely growing right now. What we do in Rebillia is basically we kind of unlocked all these thoughts of subscription from its part. So we not just necessarily do usage based or just a subscription very plain plan that coming in along into as of one setting. We just let the client pick and choose throughout the life cycle of the subscription what does he want, and allow tons of flexibility in different arena. But this area definitely growing, and the whole thought of let me match myself to my client is really evolving.
Understood. Understood. So just to segue, tell me about, like, we were talking briefly before we started recording about your team, and it sounds like you have staff members distributed around the world. So now, is your organization, is Rebillia largely a remote team, or do you guys have a central headquarters?
Well, we have both. So first of all, I see where you're coming from. However, the way we look at our team is not about where they are. We are hiring from all over the world. This is my center, right? My little piece of laptop. That's my office, right? Although I am working on a physical office on the day to day, and I have team members. We have team members from all over the world. So Argentina, Spain, Israel, Philippines, Albania. And the way we approach it, we have plenty of team members from all over. And I think the advantage of it is that the way we operate with it, we understand, first of all, that there's a global opportunity and a financial opportunity, right? It's always, I would say, more economic to hire someone from Albania or India versus having someone necessarily from the US. And I'm
Right.
not trying to be politically correct here. This is the reality, right? That's why a lot of people looking abroad. But after getting involved with team members in all over, I find that there's a lot more other advantage that is behind just the financial point. So, for example, culture-wise, right now I have someone that is from the Philippines, and I think that is in culture, is very eager to learn. And I find it about a lot of the people from the Philippines. I feel that in their culture, they want more. He wants to learn more. He wants to do more. He wants to touch into different arenas. So he's kind of start as my, I would say, personal assistant.
Yeah.
Something that I recommend everyone out there to do if you're busy founder like me, kids, appointments, doctors, all those time-consuming bureaucracy things, I give to him. He's doing all those
Great.
things for me, which bring me to another cultural thing: the trust. Right? I feel that I can trust him. We build a relationship, and there's a lot of trust. He knows a lot of personal information, about me and my family, and it's could feel very exposed. But however, we form kind of a relationship when we really know each other. But this is just one example. We have people in Albania, and they are mostly our development team. And I start, this is not for me being kind of a contract. I go ahead and sign some contract about you do this for me and I pay you that. I actually created a relationship uh, with a development agency from Albania, and we become really good friends to the point that the manager of this company is part of my advisory group. And
Oh, great.
yes, and the people that work for me, the approach that we take in is not about getting a project done. This is about how we we basically collaborate with them to feel one of us, to be part of what we're doing. So that's mean that they are allocated only for us. They only working on my project, so this is not about sharing. And it might be different founders have different need. We obviously, as a company, already in the place that we can designate different people for different projects and keep them all the way through. But we have insisted, and this is working well for us, not to just push some products on someone else and say, you go and develop that with your contractors. That's not how we approach it. We see them as part of our team in any way and shape and form. They in our meetings, they celebrate virtual birthdays with us. We go and visit. We try to visit once a year. We have some dreams to bring them to visit here too. Have not
That, that,
yet.
I just want to say, and personally, that's how I've built my IT company over the years. And it's how I advise my clients now when they're building distributed teams globally. I always advise them, treat your international contractors like very well, and bring them in and to the culture of your business. And the more you embrace them, the more you're planning for the long term, and the more you'll ultimately get out of those employees. And I think there's an old school mindset where some companies inadvertently treat their talent abroad as sort of like a second class tier of citizens. There's the full time like staff, and then there's like the international contractors. But I love your approach, which seems to very much embrace these people for who they are and bring them into your company.
Exactly, because they are part of the company. It doesn't matter where they are. I will tell you more than that. If one of them will want to leave, I will take it personally as any other employee in the
Right.
company. And I would also say that one of the things that turned me off in IT services that recruiting people for me is when they said, "I will bring you someone, and if it doesn't work for you, we can replace him." Then if that's the service, that's not what I'm here for. Because if you can replace him as easily and I can replace him as easily, it's probably not for me.
Yeah, it's not the
I
employee. It's not the type of hire you're looking for.
Right.
Right.
If the way to sell this service for me is about matching me the right fit for the long run and not really being able to replace people that way. Because I'm putting my energy towards that. I treat them as part of the company, which is part of the family as well. And if they are part of Rebillia family, then that's by all means related to anything we do together, all the way from celebrations to maybe have some harder conversation. But also, what I really like about this opportunity to work with people from all over the world is the different approaches and the different cultures. And I think that's very open-minded. So, because
Yeah, agree. It brings a diversity of opinion to a problem versus like a homogenous U.S. Like for instance, being from the U.S., there's a very like certain way of thinking about technology and building businesses, and it's so different if you take someone from Eastern Europe, Albania, from the Philippines. They have very different approaches to the same problems.
exactly, but it's only gonna work if the way you approach that person is as a decision maker, as someone that you count in, right? So this is the kind of culture and environment that we have as a company. We are very much about tell me what you think, let's do it together. We are a very hands-on management approach, as all of us. We give anyone in the company, doesn't matter who they are, an opportunity to grow with us. And I have part of our team become actually one of our C-level managers started as a contractor from abroad. So
Right, right.
so it's just an opportunity to meet new people, more people, and just bring other type of approaches. And I'm very blessed to have this opportunity.
I love even your on the personal level how you've leaned into like hiring a virtual assistant, and I often think about advice because I am oftentimes contacted from staff in different countries saying, "Hey, I want to work for a U.S. company. I want to work as a virtual assistant. What do you suggest?" And I love how you mentioned your particular assistant is very willing to learn and adept at and just eager to take on more responsibility. And I wonder if I would love your reaction to this. I wonder if there's a career path for many like young graduates in Latin America or in the Philippines or Eastern Europe where they can become a VA, a virtual assistant, but then over time they could take all that knowledge and all of a sudden step into like a chief of staff role or an operations role because they've soaked up so much wisdom from being around these leaders.
Absolutely. So I will start by saying they not just picked up on wisdom. I'm also choosing smart people, maybe diamond in the rough, people that here to learn, and also that I feel that they have a lot of intellectual and potential. And overall, I think that I'm even looking into it a bit broader. I mean, think of the world right now. It's a little of unfair world, right? If you grew up in a certain neighborhood in certain country in the world, you don't have as much opportunity as someone that maybe grew up in certain areas here in America, right? It's easier to lean on an opportunity when you grew up in the US. And I think what this whole world of virtual assistants and virtual jobs in general, at some point it will bring to the type of globalization that people will not have be needing to born into a life of sorrow or an unfair treat just because they've been born in certain area versus another. I mean,
Right.
the funny thing about AI, and I see it that all the people that I interviewed from the Philippines, they pick up very quick because you don't have to have a background for it, right? So they have just go ahead and learn it from YouTube and different blogs, and they know how to operate things that I might didn't have the chance to pick up on, and they can just start there, right? It's not like coding or any other thing that used to be back in the days that you really have to learn for quite a few years.
Right, right.
You learn new things now. So I think this is bringing for a great global opportunity for equal to be equal and basically to go back to where humanity should be, that the more effort you put, the more gain you get, and it's not necessarily about the background or the roots you coming from. So
Yeah, it's a very optimistic view. I share it as well. I feel like we're entering like a golden age with democratizing access to technology globally. And the fact that someone, like you mentioned, could be born in like, maybe a poor area of the world, but with a laptop, and if they could get their hands on one and access to some simple AI tools, can do on par work with a U.S. equivalent is quite impressive. So I share that. I think it is potentially like we're entering a potentially very good era for that line of work. Yeah,
I
great.
agree, and I think also that on another note, I would say that if there's something in common to me and some of our founders, we are very passionate about traveling, and when we travel, we're very passionate. We're less passionate about the most perfect 5-star hotel. We're more passionate about community and having a real authentic experience, which is totally another podcast and way longer. But I think this is something that we had in common as co-founding teams. And I think this is kind of what led to this success. Our eagerness to know people and learn different cultures. And I think also it's help us to create a new culture in the company that, as you said, if you have a laptop and you're eager to learn, the sky's the limit. I mean,
Right.
we're in this company.
Yeah, great, great. If you have people watching this that are interested in finding more about you and following you or Rebillia as a platform, what's the best way to follow Rebillia and get in touch with you guys about new jobs that might be opening up?
Well, new jobs always, you can always reach out. Definitely check out what we do as a company. We have a pretty amazing software that match for so many businesses out there. We serve in both e-commerce and SaaS, so a pretty exciting solution that can combine both. And you can just go to our website, which is rebillia.com, rebillia.com. Or reach out via LinkedIn, follow our company on LinkedIn, or you can definitely reach out to me directly on LinkedIn. I'm very, you might have learned by now, I'm pretty open about talking with new people and very interested in the networking. So that's my name there, Moran Mizrahi, and would love to connect.
Excellent, excellent. Moran, I appreciate your time today. It was great getting to know you a bit further, and a lot of the points you make, like taking your international contracting team, embracing them as a core part of the business, having like that long-term approach, incorporating like diversity of thought and opinions by accessing global team. All that stuff I think resonates very much with me. So I appreciate the path you guys are on, and I look forward to seeing Rebillia in the future and what you continue to build. So thanks for the time today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a great conversation.